Recently, I had a conversation with a friend of mine from the UK. We were talking about identity, belonging, and what it really means to be Chinese. His position was very clear. He said that you can never truly be Chinese unless you are ethnically Chinese. According to him, you may live here for decades, speak fluent Chinese, understand the culture, follow the rules, and even feel emotionally connected to the country. But you will never be fully accepted as Chinese by Chinese society if you are not ethnically Chinese. He compared this with countries like the UK, Canada, or the United States, where identity is largely cultural and civic. In those countries, people from very different ethnic backgrounds can still become British, Canadian, or American if they accept the culture, values, and social norms. But according to him, China works differently. He argued that even someone born and raised abroad, for example, an American-born Chinese or Canadian-born Chinese, would still be accepted here without much question, because their ancestry and roots are Chinese. But someone who does not look Chinese, no matter how long they live here, would always remain an outsider. This is how he explained it. Let's take a look.
China is almost unique in the world in that it is, you can only be Chinese if you're ethnically Chinese. You know, like your phenotype, how you look, your clan, Han, or Chinese. You know,
isn't it about mindset?
You can never be Chinese. I could feel Chinese, I don't, but I could feel it, but I would never be accepted as Chinese. Whereas in the UK, it's cultural acceptance, it's cultural identity. Here it's ethnic blood identity.
How about a person who was born in the States, raised in the States by Chinese parents, looking like Chinese, like Han?
They're Chinese.
When they come here, do they think that they feel like they're Chinese?
Oh, I don't know about that. I do know about them. I've got a few friends.
But they get accepted.
It's not so much how
because they look Chinese.
It's not so much your identity, it's their labeling of you.
Right.
So I've got friends who are ABC or Canadian, American, Australian-born Chinese. You know, some of them might feel Chinese, some of them might not, but everybody here sees them as Chinese. Mm-hmm. And that's like one of the running debates, isn't it? In like the wider context of the world, is that you can never, you can never not be Chinese, right? Like, it's a very sort of ethnocentric country, and it is really down to like, if your heritage is Chinese,
then you are Chinese. The idea stayed with me, and the truth is I partially agree with him. I do think that I will always be seen as a foreigner here. In my case, I don't look like Han Chinese, I don't look Asian at all, and that automatically makes me stand out on the street, in social situations, and sometimes in professional settings. But I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing. China is not an immigrant country in the way many Western countries are. It doesn't define itself that way, and historically it never really has. So being different here is not unusual. You can be a guest, you can be a friendly neighbor. In my case, as a Russian, I'm often seen as coming from a friendly country. You can be respected, trusted, even admired, but being accepted is not the same as belonging. And this is where my personal experience comes in. Even after almost 20 years in China, I still feel like a guest. A long-term guest, but guest nonetheless. I don't experience China as a second home in the same way some immigrants experience Western countries. The differences feel too deep. The way people think, the way communication works, the way disagreements are handled, the role of hierarchy, and especially humor. Humor is a big divider. Humor reveals shared references and shared assumptions, and this is often where I feel the distance most clearly. Even if I spoke perfect Chinese, even if I fully assimilated on a practical level, even if I had a green card, I don't believe I would ever truly feel one of you. And that's not a complaint, it's an observation. I don't think this makes China better or worse, it simply makes it different. So this brings me to the question I want to ask you. Can a foreigner ever be fully accepted in China? Not legally, not professionally, but socially and emotionally? Or is acceptance here always conditional, shaped by ethnicity and appearance? And maybe an even more important question, do we actually need to be fully accepted to live meaningful, fulfilling lives here? If you're Chinese, what does being Chinese mean to you? If you're a foreigner living in China, do you feel like you belong or like a long-term guest like me? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to hear how different people see this. If you like this kind of content, please give me a heart, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.